Alright guys, that was a bad idea. We won't be doing that this time. We back. There we go. Alright, but that was the gist of it, guys. I'll wait for the rest of y'all to find the stream. Suffice to say, Peter is dead. And I had a feeling that was going to happen too, guys, honestly. This is why I don't watch, like, newer scenes. That's why we take it back old school usually on you know, on live streams. There we go. So yeah, for those that always wonder why I don't watch newer scenes that go past like 2012, this is why. That is why we don't watch new scenes, because, you know, these scenes are still available on places like Hulu and ABC.com and wherever else they go live. Yes, some of the clips do survive on YouTube, but even, you know, people that do upload the new clips and stuff, their channels eventually get caught up with and they get deleted. So how do they know? You know what? YouTube just got tired of seeing Peter's ass as well, and they just wanted to stop. They were like, please stop. No, I think, I don't know the logistics of it, but I think whenever there's like official content uploaded and it's like live streamed, I think the audio picks up and the video footage picks up. Because if you ever notice, like when people upload full episodes of GH on here, they're always like moving the screen and making it like bigger, smaller, moving it left and right, things like that. That is why, because YouTube picks up on everything, whether it's the footage, the audio, etc. Especially on a live stream. It happens, Angel Blue. I was watching the other day, there's a YouTuber named Markiplier. He's like a gamer, and he was watching someone else's content that he happened to star in, and it was like an animated thing, and even he got a warning about the audio for it while he was streaming, so he didn't play the whole thing because of that reason. So it happens. YouTube has their ways of picking things up, and that's why even why I stopped posting or like uploading clips of GH on MVS01, because it was starting to get more frequently noticed on YouTube. Which is fair, you know, they want people to watch their stuff live on TV and, you know, make money off of it on Hulu and whatever other streaming platforms have it. But yeah, the point is, Peter is dead. Anna watched him die. We don't. If you guys want to see it, it's on YouTube, it's on Hulu, it's on ABC.com. Thought it would be fun to try and watch, but evidently YouTube said no, which is fine. But at the very least we can discuss, because, I mean, just to describe the rest of the scene for people that didn't see it, like Dinara, Anna and Peter kind of had a talk about how he was so much like his father, and that there's, hey Sandy, welcome back, and that he just couldn't, he was so entitled to believe that he could do whatever he wanted and get away with it. What happened? Jacarius, I was watching 2022 footage of General Hospital, and that is why I can't watch newer clips, and that is why we can't watch clips with audio that is copyrighted. What happened? My phone died. Yeah, we were watching the Peter clip, Jacarius, and YouTube stopped it. That is why I don't watch newer clips. But I was always curious about it. I knew that that was a possibility, but now seeing that it happened, you know, it makes sense. But yeah, as I was saying, so Anna had a conversation with Peter about how bad he was, and he realized that she didn't call the ambulance, and she was like, "You're right, I didn't. You know, Maxie and Louise deserve peace, and they can't have that while you're alive." And he was like, "You're gonna leave me here to die?" And then Anna was like, "Nobody deserves to die alone." Sandy, YouTube knows everything. No, I was trying to explain earlier, like it's they know, like, when it comes to copyrighted material, they have things that pick up on the footage and the audio that's used and just a number of things. And it's probably easier to catch when it's live streamed than it is when it's just uploaded. But regardless, it does happen when things are uploaded as well. As you guys know, there were people on YouTube that uploaded clips that got removed because of that. ABC, sometimes if they're, noticing, then they can probably kind of get that to YouTube's attention as well. But there's systems in place on YouTube to make sure that people aren't uploading copyrighted content. Even for me, I'll explain this. A couple years ago, I released a single on Spotify, my own single, produced by my friend, and I uploaded it to my YouTube channel, and it still got copyrighted, even though it's just me, right? So there's ways around it. Anyway, to continue with Anna and Peter, Anna basically said, you don't deserve to die alone. God knows why she thinks that. And then Peter reached out his hand, and he looked scared and terrified and said, "Anna." And she did hold his hand. And then he literally just, he looked up, and then you could just tell he was gone. Like there was nothing there. Eyes wide open, dead. Anna realized it, and she did cry, and then she covered his eyes and checked his pulse, and yeah. And then Peter was gone. He was dead. How are they going to copyright your own song? Well, because technically, even though I'm on YouTube, YouTube doesn't know that I am the owner of that song, right? Like, it's, as far as they're concerned, it's an official release that's on Spotify and iTunes and whatever else. So it gets flagged as copyrighted material. But you can dispute it by saying that you are the owner, and then, then it's all good. As Robert would say, goodbye, Heinrich. Yeah, he pretty much did actually in the episode too, Dinara. When he found out, he called him Heinrich one last time. Yeah, luckily for me, when I did upload my song, it basically said I just can't monetize it. Like, the owner is letting you use it for whatever. Because some people don't, flag their music that harshly, as long as they can make money off of it, which, anyone goes to the YouTube or video of mine that I posted with my song, then that, 2 cents is going to me. I'll be stinking rich off of it, guys. Speaking of songs, we didn't get one this week. What, of mine? Well, I did one, last week, the famous song, but I only had Monday off, and then I worked the rest of the week, so I don't think I'm going to be recording anything new this week. But I am looking into doing more with music, at least kind of in person. I'm looking into doing live shows, and I'm looking into recording the last song that I posted, Famous, professionally in an actual studio, because all these songs that I record, that I post on my YouTube page, I literally just record here in my basement. and with the microphone that I'm using right now to talk to you guys, as well as, you know, Audacity, which is not really a great editing tool, but it's certainly not, I mean, it's fine. Obviously, the songs don't sound that bad. But I also have friends that are producers that, hey Nathan, welcome back. But I also have songs that, or friends that do produce music. So I've been feeling the waters to get Famous, the last song, the background music for the song that's playing right now, actually, to record it professionally and maybe release that in an official capacity as well. Mostly because you guys had a good reaction to it, my friends had a good reaction to it. I did go onto my own personal Facebook and ask, you know, what song should I consider recording professionally, and a lot of them did say that one. You look forward to my weekly concerts. I mean, I enjoy recording music, but it all depends on the time that I got, the free time that I got, and if I can find a good instrumental track to write something to. And a lot of the music that I write to is this amazing music producer on YouTube named IOF. Famous was your best. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed recording it. I loved doing the harmonies. I loved writing it because it's very sassy and fierce. And it's riddled with confidence that I honestly don't have a whole lot of these days, but I try. It's all about faking it till you make it. Did you guys want me to play the normal version on here while I have you guys on here? Honestly, I'm kind of nervous to even react to classic clips tonight. I don't want to, I don't want to flag. Ding dong, the llama is dead. Yeah. He sure is, Reg. For now. Well, like I mentioned in the last stream, if you managed to catch it, it got turned off because we were watching the actual death. Wes Ramsey is no longer on the show. He confirmed that. So he's gone for a while, and I feel like the audience was probably loud enough to know, to realize that we don't want to see him for a while. I do gotta give my props to Wes Ramsey, because this had to have been hell for him. You know what I mean? To play a character that's so widely hated, that everyone has been begging to be off the show. On top of that, hearing people be like, oh, you only got this job because of Laura Wright, and all the things that were said about him, both as a character and as an actor, this had to suck for him. And, there are people, especially, in the soap fandom, that can't differentiate the actor to the character either. And when you're a villain, it's 10 times worse. We need a good storyline for Brooklyn and Chase. Yeah, we do. What do we do next for Brooklyn and Chase now that they don't have Bailey to bond over anymore? I mean, I'm honestly hoping that Maxie makes Brooklyn and Chase the godmother and godfather. I think it's only fair. They definitely deserve to be in that baby's life. Wes was so good, he made all of us hate Peter, and now if Nina would go away. Sadly, I don't think Nina's gonna go away. Not anytime soon. Yeah, I really hate how yeah, me too, Jake. I really do hate how actors get hated on because of their characters. Because people get nasty, especially on Twitter, which is why I do not... I will creep Twitter, I do not tweet. I don't, I creep the pages just to see what the actors are doing, but I do not engage. I do not take partake. Yes, goodbye, Nina. Yeah, but it's hard to say, you know? I mean, GH obviously probably has some good stuff coming up with Victor Cassadine and the Spencers. Laura clearly put the dots together and realized that Victor's people were in, was it Austria, where Luke died, at the time that he died. So, Laura's putting the pieces together. Even tying the Ice Princess aspect to it, too. But we'll discuss that on Sunday. Tracy come back to take Victor on? I hope so. I hope so. I love seeing Jane Elliott. Twitter can be nasty when it comes to hating on certain characters. Jason, for example. Oi, lol. Man. Yeah, soap fans can be crazy, and it's... You know, a lot of it's just passion for the show, but it's kind of crazy when they can't differentiate the actors to the characters. Is this heat wave on GH really a big thing, though? I honestly think it's going to turn into a big thing. I think... What's that music? What's it called? Oh, this music... Well, it's the instrumental to my song Famous, produced by IOF. I can't remember if the song had a title. Probably did. Yeah, like when music producers on YouTube give, like... or make instrumentals for people to use for like non-profit stuff, they don't really give it a name. They kind of just say like, this is a funk type beat and it's inspired by like Doja Cat and Latto, and that's what that's actually what this person said. And this one was actually produced by Pacific. I use two music producers that do like free non-profit music. Pacific and IOF, and those are the two that I use on the regular. Alright, you said something negative about Sam once, and I expected to see torches and pitchforks outside of my house. Yeah, man. Yeah, there are people that are just really cruel to the actors, and it's so unfair. In Kansas City, you had 8 inches of snow last week. Oof. Next week we're gonna have 70 degrees. That's normal weather for us. Man. It had been like minus 25 the last few days here again, because it's February here. But it's slowly starting to warm up again. I think it's actually it probably says on my computer. What is it right now? Well, it's only minus 13 right now, so we're getting warmer. Oh, Canada. But here, I will play the version of the song with my vocals on it for my song Famous. Because now we're just chilling, guys. After my last stream got flagged because we were watching Peter's death, we're chilling here. We're just celebrating the fact that Peter's gone. We'll get back to like live reactions to like classic scenes next week, just to be on the safe side a little bit. All right. Here's the version with me and my vocals on it. Only.
You can hate us, but you made us. We will never be disturbed. You won't break us. You won't.
Hazy winters also act like a roller coaster. Yeah, Canada's winter is bipolar. You don't think Spencer and Trina should be endgame? I mean, I'm down to see what they could be. But Esme needs to get out of the picture first. But I know that she's gonna be here for a while, so.
We're not afraid to speak. We are misunderstood, but we've never felt so good. We are bold, we are brave, not afraid to misbehave. Yeah, we're cool. Yeah, we're so fucking cool. We are stars, we own it, yeah, we own it. And we're motherfucking famous. Can't shame us or detain us. We can take over the world. You can hate us, but you made us. We will never be disturbed.
Yeah, the weather's all over the place this time of year for us too. Spencer doesn't deserve treatment. Hang on, can we talk about how Spencer owned Nicholas for a minute? Oh no, what was it, Tuesday's episode? Or was it, no, it was Monday's, wasn't it? Man, Spencer put Nicholas in his place. Spencer is truly a Cassadine. He actually reminds me of like young Tyler Christopher. And like his original portrayal of Nicholas.
Just so cool. We are stars, we own it, yeah, we own it. And we're motherfucking famous. Can't shame us or detain us. We can take over the world. You can hate us, but you
Yeah, he really did blow up at Nick. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like the fact that Nicholas was like, well, I mean, first of all, Spencer called Ava a bitch. It happened. And Nicholas was like, you have no right to speak of any woman like that. And then Spencer just clapped back with like, oh, but it's okay to put a hit out on them? And Nicholas was like, quiet down. And Spencer was just like, what? You think you're scared of everyone knowing that you deserve to be in here too? So good. So good. Honestly, the actor that plays Spencer, whose name is Nicholas, ironically, and Marcus, they play so well off of each other. Spencer's too hot for Trina. Trina deserves some happiness, yo. Can we mention who Sasha was talking to at Kelly's? Yeah, her drug dealer. Poor Sasha. Still the recast, by the way. I think Sophia Madsen's probably back next week, but it's cool that her sister is actually taking the role while she's gone right now. Honestly, dye her sister's hair brown. Oh, thanks, Aaron. Dye her sister's hair brown, and she would look a lot like Sasha, or like her sister Sophia.
Is it ego or just confidence? Is it murder or just...
Yeah, I still wonder if... Remember how she was kind of having a meltdown in the washroom like maybe a couple months ago?
I'm sorry that I'm just so dominant.
I feel like she probably did it then, and we just didn't see it. Because I think they did interact in that moment too. Trina can find happiness along with Cam and Jocelyn in heaven. Is this song on Spotify? No, it's not. So like the songs that I record and post on here, apart from Hold It Down a couple years ago, they're literally just recorded in my basement unprofessionally. And if I'm going to put this song on to like streaming services, then I want to get it done in an actual studio. And I was mentioning this earlier. I did kind of go to my friends this week and ask them what song I should put on Spotify and like record professionally. And a lot of them did say Famous. So I think I'm going to roll with that and eventually get into a studio and record the song and have it mixed by a professional. And by professional, I mean my friends that are way more professional at mixing than I am. that do more than mix on Audacity, which is for free. Boom. Sorry, I'm just muting it now. I'll go back to the instrumental. There we go. But yeah, whenever I get the chance to go into a studio and record the song professionally, then I will put it on Spotify and like iTunes and whatever else. But yeah, truth is, I've been really, I've been a bit down the last few weeks, and I've just been kind of focusing on kind of what I want to do with my life in terms of like, what really makes me passionate. Music is one of those things, and so I'm testing the waters out there. I'm being a bit more bold and trying to work on more music and looking into recording things professionally, and hopefully do a live show in my town. A lot of people are down to see me play live, which is kind of nice to hear. Your iPhone 7 Plus battery has gone to hell. Oh man, I've been there. Yeah, my phone is plugged to my laptop right now for the same reason. And I also have an iPhone 7, by the way, Jake. But yeah, I really want to give this music thing a go and just try to be a bit more out there with it. I also have a lot of friends that are musicians, so it's hard not to want to, be right up along there with them. I got a lot of really cool, inspiring friends. Speaking of which, my friends Nicholas Rage, who I've showed you guys their music videos before, released a new music video just yesterday. Also a cool video. You said, I hope Sasha not sniffing again. Watching Rue do drugs on Euphoria is enough. Man, I'll be honest, Angel, I have not watched a single episode of Euphoria yet. A lot of my friends watch it, and I don't doubt that it's good. Like, it looks like a wild show. You know what I did watch, though? You know what I watched this morning was the new Proud Family on Disney+. Actually looks really good. I was impressed. It's very much like the old one. Animation is a bit better than it used to be. And same voice actors. It's pretty cool. By the way, I'm still sipping on this one drink that I've had. This just shows that I really don't drink that often. That bottle of rum that I had in the beginning of the first stream, that was completely unopened, and I got it on Christmas, to put things in perspective. It feels weird to just be drinking on stream, guys, not gonna lie. But I remember you guys were discussing that we should do like a drinking game version of GH sometime. see, that's fair, Jake. Yeah, I'm lucky. Like, I don't think, as far as I know, alcoholism doesn't really run in my family. And I've never felt the need to, like, drink when I'm sad and this and that. Like, what you said, smoking, Sandy? Yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes. Occasionally I'll smoke a little bit of weed, but I'm not really big on that either. So, like, when I do it, I'm an easy bake. Yeah, I need to watch the new Proud Family. I thought they would age Penny up some. I mean, they did a little bit, not by much though. They, like, I'm not going to spoil the first episode, but they do establish that the characters are becoming women and growing older. But they're still, like, I think they're not even in high school yet still, but they're going through the changes. But it's crazy because this show has been over a long time and, like, all the actors sound exactly the same. I feel like Penny sounds a little bit off, but, like, overall, like, everyone voices the characters exactly like they did, 20 years ago. No cigs for me either. Yeah, Jake, I don't even like this. Like, I hate the smell of cigarettes. I don't, like, I think when I was, like, really young, I tried to smoke cigarettes when I was, like, out drinking, and I hated it. I hated the smell. It would make my throat sore. I just wasn't into it. Yeah, Jake, good call. Yeah, sorry we didn't actually react to anything. I mean, we did react to something and then it bit us in the ass, but yeah, this is just a chill stream, I guess, guys. We're just chit-chatting. We'll go back to our regularly scheduled, classic reactions next week. And you guys can spill some ideas. I know Jacarius mentioned wanting to do weddings, which we could. We could. But if you guys have ideas, shoot those out too. We got an entire new month coming our way, so we'll see what happens. I don't like drinking. Ice Princess storyline? We could. I mean, we should get refamiliarized with it. Just because we're going into a redux, clearly. Have I reacted to Sunny and Brenda wire scene? Yes. Very, very early on, when we first started to do GHMV Reacts, back when they weren't live streams, definitely reacted to Sunny and Brenda in the wire scene, because we were reacting to, like, iconic moments on GH. And this was back when, like, the lockdown first happened, so GH wasn't airing yet, like, it was off the air, we had nothing else to do. I was doing them on Sundays, because that's when I would usually do my review shows, but there was nothing to review. And then eventually, once GH came back on the air, we decided to move the reactions to Wednesdays. We took a break because, you know, we now had like actual GH to discuss. But yeah. GHMV reacts. Sorry, I'm looking. I'm like, am I imagining that I did? Because I've watched that scene so many times over the years. But I feel like... Yeah. So I did like a super couples month. And so maybe this is only 7 months ago. Okay, so super couples month, and we watched a bunch of Sunny and Brenda scenes, and The Wire was definitely one of them because it's arguably one of the most iconic Sunny and Brenda scenes that there were. But we also watched in that clip Sunny and Brenda in Puerto Rico, like on the run, and a couple of others. Brenda's return from 2002 to 2003 was epic. I only seen like a few of those scenes. There were some entertaining ones, and we watched. I think we watched recently a clip from Brenda's return back in 2002-2003 when she was interacting with Tamara Bronze-Carly, and they were stuck in quicksand. Original Lulu and Dante. I'm so chuffed that we're not getting original Lulu back. If you're gonna react to a wedding, you have to react to Brenda and Jason's wedding. I feel like we might have, maybe, and maybe not though. But yeah, Brenda and Jason's wedding was hilarious. Yeah, I'm looking at like my playlist of like the old scenes I reacted to. Yeah, like the very first episode of GHMV Reacts was April 2020. So I think GH was still on, but we only watched Anna Devane's first episode because it was like her anniversary with the show. Her 35th anniversary with the show. So that's why we watched Anna's first episode. And then, like, once the GH went off the air, Sabrina Faith reacted to it. I love Sabrina. She's the best, like, GHer YouTuber on here, for sure. Who is the legacy character that might die? I don't know. See, I don't read spoilers, to tell you the truth. The only time, the only spoilers that I actually pay attention to is when an actor is coming back to the show or if an actor is leaving, but I don't find out like how they're gonna leave or if they're gonna die. I just know when that's gonna happen. But Wes Ramsey's, they kept a secret, so kudos to GH for keeping that under wraps. But it ain't right for a legacy character to die. That's not fair. Is Ava Jerome a legacy character, though? Legacy characters are like beloved characters from actors or from characters that we grew up with, right? Robin and Patrick with Emma. That's a good idea, too. I love those. I love Scrubs and Emma. But yeah, I'm looking through my playlist. The very first reaction that I did once GH went off the air for a while was watching the very first episode of General Hospital, which was so cool. It was so creepy and eerie. And then we did memorable Maxi moments. We did classic JSAM moments. Luke and Laura's wedding after that. The best of Spinelli. Dragon and confrontational moments. More JSAM moments. This is why I don't react to JSAM anymore, because we gave them a lot of attention during the lockdown, okay? Not that we won't ever react to JSAM again, but we just don't do it often because they got 2 whole episodes of my time with y'all. Classic GH tearjerkers, which was a Make Me Cry challenge. Classic cat fights and brawls. More confrontations. Action-packed moments, part 1 and 2. Part 2 was like an hour long. Tony and Bobby's engagement and wedding. Lucky confronting Luke and Laura about the rape. Breakups. Luke's intervention. Ghostly encounter. We did a lot, guys. Like, during the lockdown, we did so much. We can never get enough Jason and Sam. What else? Oh, God. Yeah, classic breakups, ghostly encounters. Ooh, we did a part 1 and 2 of that. Bobby walks in on Tony and Carly. I think at this point GH was probably back on the air. Carly and Robin fighting at the Metro Court. Sam and Elizabeth fight at the Black and White Ball. Elizabeth rips Luke to shreds. Edward Quartermain's Thanksgiving nightmare. GH in the Christmas Story. 40 Years of Robert Scorpio. Watching Leslie Weber in 1975. Sean Donnelly scenes when John and Riley passed away. Douglas and Sam fighting over Jason. Man, they did that so often, Sandy. We did watch Sam and Elizabeth brawl at the Black and White Ball over Lucky and Jason. Yeah, Laura's return in 2006 was my first introduction to Laura, actually. We reacted to Stavros' death, Luke and Laura reuniting on the mayor's mansion, Tracy withholding Edward's medication, Noah Drake's first day at GH, Stefan Cassadine. Oh yeah, the Cassadine month. Nicholas Cassadine, the Forgotten Cassadine, Selena Cassadine, the original Valentine Cassadine story. Yeah, we've done a lot, guys. But now they're live stream versions, so they're a bit more fun because they're more interactive. Haven't forgotten that Liz switched Danny's paternity so she could have Jason to herself. Man, yeah, Elizabeth made a lot of mistakes back in her day. That divorce meeting was a mess, Angel. We'll discuss more on Sunday, but yeah. Sunny is a whole mess right now. Like, I was cringing when he was leaving her a voicemail on her phone. I think he was drunk, but still. Nixon Falls story got into Sunny. Man, it's so funny because, like, Maurice knows that most of the audience does not like this story. And these poor actors, like, they're probably getting so much slack on Twitter. Like, I'm sure Cynthia Watros is getting so much hate right now, and it sucks. Sunny has turned into a D. Yeah. I want to see Brenda back, to be honest. Another fave of Carly's. Man, it's so funny because I feel like Vanessa, like, always hints that she's coming back and then she never does. And we know that she and Maurice hang out, like, outside of GH. Because she was at Maurice's daughter's wedding, actually. And, like, dancing with him and everything. I wouldn't mind seeing her on Maurice's show, State of Mind, though. Yeah, fans can't separate the real from the real at all. I think the funniest story I heard with that is that the guy that played Diego Alcazar, was at a restaurant one day, and some fan went up to him and was like, "Why did you murder Georgie?" and like screaming and crying, and like of course people are thinking like this guy's a murderer and like, you know, killed a real girl. He needs to stop drinking with his meds. Yeah. Ava, yeah, I wouldn't doubt Ava takes Avery away from him. Yeah, he can't control himself. He's gonna lose everything. Brenda's 2010 to 2013 return was a mess. You know, I didn't mind the 2010 return so much. Mostly because I love Vanessa Marcel. Like, she's such a good, nuanced actor. Like, she's very believable. And like her style of acting, you can tell she just kind of can run circles around a lot of people. You said we saw Lily Melgar. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Her 2013 return was a mess. Like when she appeared at the Nurses Ball, that was a mess. Like the whole fighting with Carly and then pretending to sleep with Michael. That was harsh. Yeah, the guy that played Diego mentioned it once. I don't know if it was at like a fan club weekend sort of situation or if he was just on some kind of podcast mentioning it. But yeah. That's why like I don't envy Wes Ramsey. Like, because there are people that are crazy enough to think that he is Peter August. It's like, at the end of the day, these actors are just doing their job. They don't get to dictate what they really do on the screen. They might get to put a little bit of input, but there's no time. Like these actors, especially on soaps, like they're just back to back to back, episode per episode. You know, tons and tons of pages a day. That fight with Carly at the table was hilarious. Yeah, just throws a bread roll at Carly's head. That part was actually kind of funny, but you know, it was a bit much. But of course, Ron Carlivati was writing back then too, so everything was a bit camp. That was your intro to her character. The funny thing is, I mean, that was my first time seeing Brenda during the times that I've watched GH Live, but I had seen so much of her scenes just on YouTube that you know, like, it kind of felt like I knew the character already. I did find it weird that they really tried to play up Jason and Brenda as if they were some kind of actual couple, like Sam being jealous over, you know, Brenda, and everyone talking about, oh, Jason's ex-wife. Like, that seems so bizarre to me. Like, they got married pretty much, like, just for the sake of protecting her, and they hated every second of it, and it didn't last very long. But she did have great scenes. Like, I think my favorite scenes was when she first got back to Port Charles and Spinelli had a crush on her, and he he was just like dumbfounded by her like gorgeousness, and she's like trying to talk to him, and she's like, is that what you go by, like the Jackal? Doesn't say anything, and she just looks over at Jason like She had funny moments. She's really good at comedy. Vanessa Marcel is really good at comedy. And it showed in her scenes with Jason, and it showed like when she was preparing for the wedding. She had that like disastrous wedding planner. Yeah, I don't know. Just, I guess seeing people from like a different time on GH, it's always nice for me to see. Like, obviously it can't be the same as what it was, but if they're good enough actors, they can kind of create the vibe every now and then. And I think that Vanessa Marcel and Maurice Benard managed to do that a few times during that 2010 run. Yeah, Jill Farren Phelps, man. She did GH. I mean, she almost ran GH to the ground. It almost got canceled because of her, so. You would love to see Angie and Jesse from All My Children to GH. I'm not gonna lie, like, because I didn't really watch many other soaps, or not often anyway, I'm not a fan of when like other characters from other soaps cross over too often. Like, I purely hated that we had like Todd Manning and John McBain and Star Manning, and they were bringing like all these other guest stars from One Life to Live, and they're talking about their history, and I'm like, I don't care about any of these characters, and they were getting so much screen time, and I was glad when GH got sued and they had to like usher them off the screen. Frank is doing the same. Yeah, but Frank also saved GH too from cancellation, so you know, I have to give props to him in that sense. We wouldn't have had GH today if he didn't pull off the 50th anniversary so well. But yeah, he's you know, I think it's just a mixture of, it's not just Frank, it's also the writing and like the direction of the show. Like, they just need to figure out what fans want to see instead of investing in characters that they think we want to see. John McBain ruined J-Sam for me. See, you know, I think because John McBain and Sam McCall had that like What If GH episode, and like because of their history as like Caleb and Livy, I didn't mind them so much during that phase. But, you know, it was also like a sabotaging time for Jason and Sam because, you know, the Franco raping Sam and getting pregnant with his kid until that was recanted. But it was a mess. It was a mess. But I thought that Michael Easton and Kelly Monaco as John and Sam did have good chemistry. I think out of all the One Life characters, John was probably the one that I hated the least. And mostly because they actually let him interact with like a lot of the cast because he was a police officer. So we saw him with Dante, and we saw him with Anna, and we saw him with you know, people like Sean and Sam, and like just a variety of characters. No, Annalie didn't stay on until she died. She was let go, and then a few months after that is when she died, but she was fired first. So like they would always mention that Lila was there, but we didn't, like, the audience wouldn't see her. They would just say like she's up in her room and she's looking at the garden, or she's in the garden, but they'd never show her on screen for like the last like almost a year, I want to say. Angel, you miss Guza? I mean, I miss Guza's sweeps. That like, I don't miss Guza as a writer, but he really did sweeps really well, and he also pretty much knew how to write romances really well. Like, it was very much like slow burn. He had a system, and that system worked for a lot of characters. The only issue is that he put like the mob characters so central that it was just a pain to see. hated the recast Edward. The recast Edward was younger than Alan. But also, John Ingle, like, chose to quit the show because they couldn't come to, like, an agreement on their contract. So GH had to hire somebody. July 2004. Yeah. Man. Lila's funeral, or like Lila's death story was pretty sad, and seeing Tracy just scream that she wanted her mom, and seeing Brooklyn perform, and like characters that weren't really on the show anymore coming back just to pay homage to Anna Lee as well. And the fact that they showed multiple Edwards, which I feel like was definitely fair considering the only recast Edward didn't get to share scenes with Anna Lee. Stewart did look kind of young for his age. Yeah, that's true. You like that James Franco was there. I thought it was cool that, you know, James Franco wanted to be on GH, but like, it was an era for me where Guzza was clearly super obsessed with Jason, and I actually hated Jason back then because he was on so often, and so it just kind of felt like we were watching Guzza's obsession personified with James Franco. And also, the Valentine Cassadine story got cancelled for James Franco's sake, so I'm always bitter about that. I do, Jacarius, that's one thing I do like about, like, Frank's tenor is that, like, I thought it was so cool that he brought Lila back for when Edward died and had them, like, you know, walk into the sunset, and then they did the same for Oscar, and they did the same for AJ. Like, it's really cool. I give them props for that, because, you know, who would have thought, right, that they could pull something like that off and have, you know, stand-in actors just from the back and, like, having their, like, pre-recorded voice talk to each other. We haven't seen any mob activity for a while. Yeah, Miss Wu. I feel like I read somewhere that the actress that plays Miss Wu is shooting something elsewhere, and that's why she's gone for a bit. Yeah, I am actually intrigued by, like, the Miss Wu angle and, you know, what she's wanting. I'm assuming she wants to take over Sunny's territory, just because, you know, the whole mess with Sunny and Jason and Carly. She's probably just looking at them like, these guys are a whole mess. Anyone could just grab their territory from them. Michael lost a lot of girlfriends except Star. I mean, he lost her too. She didn't die, but, you know, she had to get shoved off screen and then broke up with him on a phone call. And they couldn't even mention Star's name when they broke up too because of the copyright and the suing. Now people just think he's creepy. I miss Sky. Yeah, see, Sky was like the crossover character that crossed over back when it wasn't really a thing to cross over. So it really worked. Because, like, I feel like they established her well in all three shows. That she didn't, like, you didn't need to know her history in any of the other shows before, you know, watching her on GH. Yeah, AMC first, and then One Life in GH. Yeah, Sky went over to GH at the last one. Anna crossed over to All My Children, along with Alex was introduced there, and she crossed over to GH. Yeah, they had to bring back One Life to Live actors back as new characters. And you can tell that was a rushed job. Like, they clearly had no idea what to do with Kiki Jerome what's her name? The actress that played Star, when she came to play Kiki. Like, the character had no purpose. And then, like, who was Michael's second character? Silas, right? Silas Clay. That was just silly. Is the actress that plays Skye acting anywhere? I don't think so. I'd like to see Skye back. I feel like she was well established on GH enough that she can just come back. He actually went with Blair and Taya to search for Thomas Delgado or Lorenzo. Yeah, they basically had to drop any story that they had with ties to those characters because of, you know, the lawsuit. So I think we're just supposed to forget that it ever happened. But it's an interesting case with Skye because she you know, she was an established GH character that just happened to have ties to other soaps. Yeah, Hannah's dead daughter with David. I think she brought it up once on the show for some reason, but I can't remember why. At some point, GH needs to let go of Emmy and RH. Yeah. David was Anna's husband on All My Children. Yeah, all the soaps are in the same universe. Yep. And I mean, even now, GH will like kind of cross over into other soap territories. Like, whenever they visit Corinth, that ties into... Oh, I forget what soap. But that place is a fictional place from a different soap. The soap multiverse, yeah. It's real. Yeah, Ryan Lavery is Duke's cousin, which is why I'm actually genuinely shocked they didn't bring him on as Ryan Lavery. Cameron Matheson is what we're talking about. Because he actually had ties to GH. Yeah, Mac did appear in All My Children when interacting with Anna. Obviously, when he found out that Anna was alive. Robin did too. Ryan's Hope, that's the one. I believe Spencer and Esme make the perfect bad couple. They're gonna be a mess when they eventually get together, but I feel like Esme's not gonna let that slide easily. MCU, yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if ABC brought back Night Shift in Port Charles to complete the Port Charles universe? I mean, technically, Night Shift was a SoapNet thing, like a SoapNet original series, so I don't know if they can. But I mean, you know, they have brought Night Shift characters from time to time onto the GH. Port Charles, I mean, that's so screwed now ever since like the 50th anniversary. Because all of a sudden Lucy was talking about vampires and Sam being Livy and John McBain being Caleb and stabbing him in the heart. And then they said that, you know, Caleb was actually just Stephen Clay, who thought he was a vampire, and it was this whole thing. And that Livy was her own person, but happened to look like Sam. It was I don't know. I got a kick out of it in the sense that it was really just to pay homage to the show in celebration of GH's 50th anniversary, but, you know. Yeah, they brought back Allison and Caleb's son, Rafe. killed Allison off. Allison established that there was vampires. And even when Stephen Clay died, we saw him walk out of the morgue. So, Rafe. I actually didn't mind Rafe and Molly, though. I was a fan of them. It kind of felt like Molly was getting her own little, like, super couple moment there. Didn't last, obviously. Yeah, we do need a Caleb and Livy reaction. I think we'll save that for, like, I know it's a long way away, but, like, maybe the fall when it's closer to Halloween, because it's, like, vampire stuff. I think it's fitting. We will do it, though. Because I'd love to take a deep dive into Caleb and Livy. Couldn't stand Rafe Jr. or Allison. Yeah, it was just so cheesy and cringe, but it worked for the time of the celebration of the 50th, but I think when you can take it for what it was supposed to be, then it wasn't as bad to watch. Because like, if you could take it as like, they're just being camp and, you know, throwing things back to what we saw. Because, you know, that's when they were doing, like, Phazon and a Duke mask and, like, what else? You know, bringing back the Nurse's Ball and bringing back all these characters that we hadn't seen in years. I mean, I am grateful, though, because it did allow a lot of characters that were sorely missed on the show back during that time. So we got to give Frank and Ron Carlivati props for that, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have Anna back, or Robert back, or Felicia back. You know, like, there's a lot of characters that were gone for a long time, or Lucy. Like, there's a lot of characters that would have never come back if it wasn't for that 50th year anniversary. Castellans are a lot like vampires. Yeah, the actor that used to play Stan was on Port Charles, yeah. Phazon pretending to be Duke. Don't forget Liesel pretending to be Anna. I love how their voices changed with the masks too. The actress that played Lainey was on Port Charles. Yeah, there was a lot of Port Charles actors that came on to GH after. But they did all come on as new characters though. Yep. And then turns out Phazon slept with Anna's twin anyway. I hate how they wrote Alex on GH, because she wasn't a bad villain. She wasn't a villain at all. And they turned her into one on GH. That's the one thing I didn't understand. Made her the evil twin. Livy wished on Caleb's ring, failed, and Caleb slept with Allison, and they created Rafe Jr., and that's how Port Charles ended. Oof. Y'all, I'm still struggling to drink this. It's like, you probably can't see it on the camera, but it's about here, like, and I've been streaming for what, 2 hours? Minus that brief moment where he had to switch streams. Can you turn into a werewolf? See, like this. Poor Charles, the fact that it had werewolves and vampires, you know. And this is like the same town that we've just been watching for almost 60 years now. Crazy that the 60th anniversary is coming up next year. I wonder what they're gonna do for that. I didn't mind the Phase-On thing so much. Just because, like, it was wild that we had Phase-On back on the show. And Duke. Like, these are characters that I never thought we'd see again. But it was corny as hell, for sure. And they had to make Anna, like, stupid and not falling for it until, like, the very end. But, like, the scenes of, like, Phase-On, like the mask melting off of his face, that was worth it. That was hilarious. Yeah, the 50th episode was good. And yeah, they brought Audrey back for that. And they talked about her golden anniversary being around the corner, and then they never did anything for it. That made me mad. Port Charles was pathetic by the end. They tried to save it, but nothing worked. It started in the bottom of the ratings and stayed there. And yeah, because, like, the game plan wasn't for Port Charles to be, like, a sci-fi thing, right? Like, it was supposed to just be a different wing of the hospital and, like, other characters, and, like, it was just supposed to be, like, its own thing. And then somehow vampires and werewolves became a thing. Like, I do wonder, like, where, like, why? I like seeing Phase-On again. Anders Holmes is a great actor, but those masks, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people did cross over, like, back and forth between Port Charles and General Hospital, especially because of the Nurses Ball. Like, they would have the Nurses Ball happening on GH and at Port Charles at the same time. Port Charles, you'd see the Port Charles characters doing their thing, and then GH, you'd see the GH characters doing their thing. But Lucy would host both. Tried to do fantasy stuff to save it because nothing else worked. If they had kept with GH-centered characters, it might have had a chance. But that 12:30 p.m. slot was jinxed after Ryan, so yeah, probably. Added Caleb to it, and then it slowly became about vampires. Way before its time. Yeah, that's true. GH was ahead of its time. Oh yeah, I'm aware there's full episodes of Port Charles on YouTube. experience with Allison was just what we seen in General Hospital. And then watching her get murdered by Caleb. Man, that like bone straight hair that Michael Easton had to rock for that though was hilarious. I don't mind sci-fi. It just seemed kind of weird that like poor Charles went from like a non-sci-fi show to a sci-fi show. Loving failed, the city failed, poor Charles failed. It's crazy that soaps can even be a half an hour. Now with all the commercials, like, soaps pretty much are half an hour regardless of being in that hour time slot. Well guys, we should end this soon. I am enjoying chatting though, this has been fun. Stream didn't go quite as planned, but we did get to watch a little bit of Peter's death, and y'all will just have to watch it yourselves if you didn't see it. Sci-fi, Star Trek, or Star Wars. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Jake. Caleb did try to kill Heather. Didn't he like throw her in the water and then spit in it? That was funny. GH's cast iron weather machine was sci-fi. Yeah, that's true. Casey the Alien was sci-fi. I never really kept up with the actor that plays Rafe. Star Wars is just Space Wizard. See, I stay out of the Star Wars and like Star Trek and like those wars. I do want to go to Disney World or Disneyland to check out the Star Wars land. Even though, like, not gonna lie, I've maybe watched all of one Star Wars movie, and I couldn't tell you which one it was. Definitely one of the newer-ish ones, like within the last like 10 years or so. And I have no excuse because I have Disney Plus, so I could literally watch all of them. But, you know, finding the time. Wes Ramsey is attractive, DG. You're right. GH's budget is sad. Yeah, it really does take away from the experience. Like, I mean, even like the sets that they build now are kind of laughable because they used to build really big sets. But yeah, like this final showdown that took place between Maxie and Peter and Felicia. Like that set, like where it just looked bad. The ramp looked bad. Like the ground, like you could tell there was like a tarp. You binge watched the Star Wars movie when you got Disney Plus. See, I should, but I just, you know, I work a lot, okay? And when I'm not working and I'm doing this stuff, like, you know, I have an evening off here and I'm here live streaming, and then Sundays are my only day off from my actual work, and it takes me the whole day to do General Hospital after show. When's the last time we had a location scene? We had one when Victor kidnapped Valentine, but that was just really outside of the GH studio. If this were the 80s, they would have went on location, probably to Switzerland or someplace exotic. We need a Twitch. Yeah, I mean the last really good location shoot that GH did was in 2012, I think, or 2013. 2013 when the time slot changed for GH, and they did that whole thing on the wharf, and they were like by some river, and like Jerry tried to kidnap Alexis. Like, I thought that was a really good location shoot. I think the worst location shoot was probably that weird park that they go to outside the studio. Sad. Yeah, it is quite sad that they're so tight with their soap budget. It's like, it does ruin the experience. I mean, I get that it's a soap and, you know, not a whole lot of people watch it. It's got its crowd, but it's nothing like, you know, prime time. I don't mind them using like the direct outside of GH's studios, because they've used that multiple times over the years for the outside of the hospital. Yeah, when Jerry poisoned the water supply, that location shoot, I thought that was a really well done one, and like probably the most substantial location shoot that we got in years. Yeah, the water pathogen story. Yeah, it's amazing GH has survived this long, Angel. Especially when All My Children and One Life got, like, canned. Thought for sure GH would go. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is that Gloria Monty really changed the landscape for soaps, because soaps weren't doing location shoots like this before GH, and like telling these like larger than life stories like Luke and Laura on the run and this and that. Do you remember that other Christina? Do you mean like the other Christina Davis? Because I'd rather forget her. I thought she was a horrible actress, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what ended up killing Edward inevitably. He never recovered from that. Even though it was really just because John Engel passed away, but... yeah, I'm glad that he did get a last scene on GH, because, I mean, his health was deteriorating. That's why he was no longer really on the show. He wasn't actually fired from GH, like, his health was just failing. But they had him go on one last time because he wanted to be on the show one last time, and I thought that was really sweet. It was a short scene, but, you know, he did what he could considering his health was so deteriorated by then. GH and Supernatural are the only shows that you can say you grew up watching. Man, yeah, I grew up watching GH. Oh yeah, don't remind me of Christina and her Mob Princess reality show. Ugh. The writing was horrible. I mean, I grew up with GH. I guess now I can say I grew up with a Proud Family, now that it's back on the air again. And like other, like, you know, I used to watch animes when I was younger. I watched Sailor Moon when I was younger. The show came back as Sailor Moon Crystal. I watched that. Same with Inuyasha and Yashahime. Trey. Was it Trey or was it Troy? Agnes Nixon did a few One Life to Live and All My Children locations. One location per month. Yeah, but GH would go on like these like long ass trips. Like, you know, like they went to Mexico and did an entire summer storyline for a whole summer. And they did, Luke and Laura on the Run, and we're doing locations all throughout whatever city they were in. Ice Princess was like half on set and then half like on location in the water somewhere. It was Trey? Okay. That's how unimportant. That's how little I cared about the story. I can't even remember their names. Like, that was such a weird time on GH. You said you actually saw the very first episode of All My Children. You were a little kid and thought it was comedy. Laughing at Susan Lucci and her big hair. Nice. Connie's son. Yeah. See, that just reminds me of the DID storyline, and I cannot stand DID storylines. And I wasn't a fan of the last actress that played Connie either. I definitely preferred Megan Ward's Connie / Kate. My goal, guys, is to finish this drink before I end the stream, just so I can get it out of the way. Once GH hit number 1, all the other soaps started going on location adventures. Yeah, they were trying to keep up, but GH's only competition in the 80s was Young and Restless. Yeah, and GH hasn't been able to beat YNR ever since, eh? Is there any word on that All My Children spinoff yet? Because weren't they planning on doing something like primetime version? And Kelly Ripa was supposed to be producing it or something? I actually didn't mind 2012, 2013 overall. Only because of how they brought so many characters back. YNR has been number 1 since 1988. Yeah. They never did it. Oh, sorry, I missed one of your posts, DG. I think the Connie DID story was very lame. Yeah, it really was. You loved Vicky's Altars on One Life. I tried to watch clips of that, and I just couldn't do it. It was just so cringe to me. Laura's returned, then Lulu got kidnapped by Stavros, and Nicholas returned, and then got shot. Well, they had to usher Julie's Lulu out somehow, I guess. But also they were paying homage to Ice Princess 2 back then. It was an excuse to get nostalgia, but you could tell there was like kind of tension between Jeannie and Tony. Like, you could tell that Tony didn't want to relive the Luke and Laura days again. Yeah, you're definitely right about that, DG. Like, I feel like Ron Carlivati and Frank Valentini really had, like, good luck because they got to ride the coattails of the 50th anniversary. They could go all out and be cheesy, but, like, once the anniversary passed, then it just went, like, completely downhill after that. Like, it was a mess. Like, obviously, I mean, I think we were lucky in the sense that they got sued for the One Life characters right before the actual anniversary hit. Yeah, Julie did get to have her last scene. And I feel like deep down the writers knew that people wanted to see Julie kind of have that confrontation with Maxie. Tony Geary treated Jeannie like dirt when she came back to GH under Valentini. Yeah, he really did. Yeah, I think Tony definitely, like, burned some bridges with GH and the fans and probably his co-workers as well. But I do think that Jeannie and Tony kind of mended fences because he got to pick, like, for his final story, he got to pick who he worked with again. And he wanted Jeannie back, and he wanted Jonathan Jackson back, and he wanted Nathan Parsons back. Like, he wanted these people there for his final big story. I mean, the reality is, though, Ron Carlivati needed to go because he, like, what Ron Carlivati's downfall was, in my opinion, was that he didn't care about the integrity of the characters. He didn't care how badly he had to change a character in order to make his, like, wild stories work. And so many characters were being written out of character. Like, we got, I mean, even to this day, people are still recovering from the damage that Ron Carlivati did to some of the characters. Like, Nicholas never really fully recovered. Neither did Elizabeth. Yeah, Jeannie Francis really was treated terribly throughout her whole tenure. Yeah, if you guys haven't watched, I don't know if it was like, there's some kind of documentary on Jeannie Francis where she explains her experience on GH and what she went through. Like, her whole life story, essentially. But, like, what went down on GH in the 80s with Jeannie was so wrong. So wrong. Like, Gloria Monty was awful to her. Yeah, Ron was very sassy on Twitter. Yeah, because a lot of people would call him out on Twitter on, like, how he would mess things up. Like, because he always got the history wrong, and they would call him out, and he'd always have an excuse for it, or he'd fight back. And, like, the icing on the cake, and I think I brought this up not that long ago, maybe on General Hospital After Show, or maybe another live stream, I can't remember. But the final Luke story where, you know, Bill Eckert was thought to be Luke and then they turned him into Fluke, like, that was the only reason why we got Luke with a split personality is because the audience figured out it was Bill Eckert from the jump, and he hated that the audience was smart enough to figure that out, so he changed the story. Even Tony Geary went on record to say that it was supposed to be Bill Eckert, and the writer changed the story. Yeah, Intimate Portrait, that's what it was. Thank you, DG. Ron's doing much better on Duel. Well, good for him, but I don't want him back on GH ever again. And I found, like, I don't know if it's the same kind of style on Days of Our Lives, but, like, with GH, the scenes were so short and dumbed down. Like, the dialogue just got so bad. The scenes were choppy. What did I think of JPF? Jill Farren Phelps? Jill Farren Phelps could choke. She did GH dirty too. GH almost got canceled because of her. Yeah, Nicholas is a far cry from the Nicholas that was with Emily. Ava just brings him down more. I mean, for who Nicholas is now, like, Ava works for him, but if Nicholas was, you know, if Nicholas never went down that dark path that happened for no actual reason, like, they wouldn't make sense even remotely. I mean, the writers knew that Tony was quitting, and that's why they gave him this final story, but it really was supposed to be Bill Eckert. Like, that's the reality. It wasn't supposed to be this, like, split personality thing. The only good thing about that change is that the anniversary episode that we got with Luke's past, that was so well done. That kind of salvaged what we had to sit through. They should have given AJ a real shot. They really should have, yeah. They did Laura so wrong in the early 2000s, yeah. Yeah, Jill Farren Phelps did terrible on GH. Yeah, yeah, that's why I hated her. Like, she completely destroyed the Quartermains, like, killed them off one by one. Hated the veteran characters, and, you know, they are the heart and soul of GH. The fact that she was ushering them out left, right, and center, like, I think, honestly, that played into why GH almost got canceled, and the reason why Ron Carlivati and Frank Valentini managed to save it is because they brought back a lot of people that people missed on the show, and it worked in GH's favor, and it saved them from cancellation. Tiffany Pollard from Flavor of Love. Man, oh my god, hold on. I feel like I need to show you guys something. If I can find it. I don't think I will find it. Oh well. There was a picture of a guy that looks like me next to Tiffany Pollard. and like, it's not me. Obviously I don't know her. But yeah, my friend sent me it and I was like, what the hell? It was eerie. Leslie Charleston was really sad when she was taken off contract by Jill Farren Phelps. I think that's why she had that plastic surgery. She was trying to look younger so she could work. Yeah, like, I feel like Jill was just brutal to the older cast because, you know, Jill was constantly always wanting, constant, like, younger characters on the show. And it's fine to have fresh blood, but, like, you need to realize that, like, these are characters that, you know, had characters or had audience members watching for so many decades. And you can't just shove them under the, you know, sweep them under the rug. You said you need to watch Alan Loescher's interview with Billy Warlock on YouTube. He explains why they destroyed AJ under GH, or under Jill Farren Phelps. I'll have to watch that sometime. I mean, I could probably guess why. They wanted Sonny and Jason to be the heroes on the show. I find GH is at its best when the screen time is balanced, so that we can see a variety. There are people that like do like episode counts and like Laura Wright as Carly. She is just on every episode and she's like miles ahead of everyone else, including Sonny. Yeah, I was really excited when they brought Sean Kanan back as AJ, but then they really seemed to be doing his character good for a while, and then they just like made him an alcoholic again and had him killed. Bob Guza was obsessed with the Sopranos. They even brought on an actor from The Sopranos to play Max and Milo's dad. Alright, you have a good night, Sandy. Yeah, I'm going to bed soon too. I'm just trying to finish this drink. That's how long it's taking me. I wanted to leave at 11:30. It's 11:50 now, my time. But I am almost done. There's like a sip left. I can do this as like a shot. I just hate, you know, doing shots. Okay, I'll just down this, guys. I'll down it. Officially empty. There we have it. Since the early 2000s, Sonny, Jason, Carly, and Sam have dominated the show. Yeah. That was my issue with GH for a long time, is that Sonny, Jason, and Carly... It's a lot better than what it was in the 2000s, but it's still pretty rough. Ron C. He just seems like a bad, like a shitty individual. The one thing that always like kind of what was I gonna say? Kind of confused me with Billy Warlock and Sean Kanan. They're such different looking actors. Like, it seemed like such a bizarre recast. And I think I enjoyed Sean Kanan because, like, he and Steve Burton look like they could be real-life brothers. They look so much alike. And I know they're, like, related, but only by marriage. But they look a lot like they could be blood brothers. And then you look at, like, Billy Warlock and Steve Burton, and you're like, what? Yeah, I actually heard about that too, Nathan. What about Wendy? Wendy Rich? Is it Wendy Ritchie or is it Rich? I adored her writing. It was very heartfelt. I enjoyed Kelly Monaco, but I also, you know, I didn't have, like... Sam was already there when I started watching, so I didn't really see her as, like, a forced part of the canvas or anything like that. She was just already in the canvas at that point, and, you know, I was a newer viewer, so... Billy Warlock is, like, 5'5", Sean Kanan is 5'10". Yeah, exactly. It was such a weird recast to me, DG. You won't do that unless AJ returns and Sonny apologizes. Billy was the AJ I grew up on, so I was weirded out by Sean. That's fair. Yeah, Wendy, Richie, and Claire Labine were a magical team, and it's funny because, you know, they weren't exciting stories, but they were heartfelt, and that's what, you know, I mean, the 90s, just in general, like, shows really had a lot of heart to them, and, like, heartfelt stories, even, like, sitcoms and stuff. And, you know, whenever I see scenes of GH from the 90s, I adore it. Like, they told such good stories. You know, BJ's Heart and, you know, Stone and Robin and the AIDS storyline. And, like, just all this really good, solid stuff. The friendships that they formed on the screen. Like, the family-oriented moments. Like, there was a lot of good stuff in the 90s. Kelly Monaco, yeah. Kelly Monaco was gorgeous. She's such a gorgeous lady. Carly and Sonny kept the secret from Michael until months after, until Frico revealed it. Frico. I wonder if they ever told Jason that AJ was back for a while. I think they did. I think Monica kind of brought it up once. Or maybe it was Michael. Someone brought it up to him when he came back. Claire Labine did write Luke and Laura's return with Lucky, and she blended the old Frank Smith mob. Yeah, like, she knew what she was doing. I think Tony Geary definitely had a hand in that story of Luke and Laura's comeback too, though. Her hair is awesome, Kelly Monaco. I miss when Kelly Monaco had, like, highlights and stuff. Like, I mean, her hair is still, like, luscious and whatever, but, like, the styles that she had, especially in, like, the 2007, 2008 era, that's when, like, Kelly was just, like, prime. Do you remember when Michael went off on Carly after he found out that Sonny killed AJ? Yeah, I do. One of the rare times that I actually enjoyed Chad Duell's version of Michael. Alright guys, well, it is almost midnight where I am, and I gotta work tomorrow. It has been so fun, even though I had to, you know, go into a second live stream because we kind of shit the bucket with, you know, watching that Peter death scene. Worth it? I don't know. You guys didn't even get to see when he actually died. Ineffable Angel Demon. I miss Drew Garrett's Michael. I miss Drew Garrett's Michael too. Drew Garrett was my favorite Michael, hands down. Yeah, we ain't talking about GH's openings anymore, Jacarius. they're that bad. It's not even worth talking about. Yeah. I feel like we reacted to Jason calling Michael a bitch too. Drew Garrett rocked as Michael, in my opinion. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I'm so tired. It's midnight here, and I'm sure it's later where a lot of you guys are too. So I'll end your misery. Thank you for just chilling with me. We didn't get to really react to anything, but it was, it was a Peter is dead party, and he's dead. And I had a drink in celebration, and we just chit chatted about GH all night. So it was nice. Yeah, I will be back Sunday for General Hospital after show, and then next Wednesday we will figure out something to watch. We'll actually watch some classic scenes. We might do the wedding idea like Carrie's wanted, but if you guys have any other ideas as well, let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. I'm just going to snap until I stop the actual stream, because I don't know when it ends.